Commissioner Malema, the key provision is Section 1742 of the Constitution, as I'm sure you're aware. My sexual orientation were criminalized for having same-sex relationships. And during my lifetime, the Constitution has fundamentally changed my life and that of others in the LGBTQ community, first by decriminalizing our sexuality and then recognizing our rights to stand shoulder to shoulder with other South Africans in dignity. There are still very few openly LGBTQ judges in South Africa and in fact around the world. And I remember how...
Hello family, welcome on our channel. Today we just want to share the debate between Mr. Malema and the LGB judge in the court. The LGB judge seems to set some traps for Mr. Malema to find out where Mr. Malema really stands when it comes to the community. And we're all going to hear the response of Mr. Malema, how Mr. Malema is going to respond in a short manner. And guys, please, if it's your first time, don't forget to like our video, subscribe, leave your comments, share the video with others, and we will also come back to you. Thank you, guys. Let us be ready and let's listen to what Mr. Malema is going to say about the LGB community. Thank you, guys. Let us listen to Mr. Malema.
Malema, the key...
In line with transformation, yes.
Yes, absolutely. The key provision is Section 1742 of the Constitution, as I'm sure you're aware, which says the need for the judiciary to reflect broadly the racial and gender composition of South Africa must be considered. In light of our history in South Africa, it is an imperative to have racial and gender transformation. And so I would think there would be a degree of preference towards the black male candidate or black female candidate even higher in many ways. What I can offer is, as I've mentioned, a diversity of perspectives and also perhaps one element of diversity that hasn't really been canvassed thus far. And that is that when I was growing up, people with my sexual orientation were criminalized for having same-sex relationships. And during my lifetime, the Constitution has fundamentally changed my life and that of others in the LGBTQ community, first by decriminalizing our sexuality and then recognizing our rights to stand shoulder to shoulder with other South Africans in dignity. There are still very few openly LGBTQ judges in South Africa and in fact around the world. And I remember how deeply moving for me it was to see the first Constitutional Court judge, Justice Cameron, appointed to the court. Why is it so important? Because I think when we look at Section 1742, we want South Africans to see themselves in the court. And so I would hope that my appointment would in some sense advance LGBTQ representation and also perhaps serve as an indicator to the young lesbian woman I met last year from Katlehong and the transgender activist who I met who was rejected by their religious community, whose families have refused to accept them and for whom they've been rejected, and who opened up to me about their own pain, that the South African legal and political community seeks to embrace people with diverse sexual orientations, and that she and they and others like them, whoever they are and wish to be, can be authentic in their own identities. And so I would suggest to you that there may be other elements of identity, such as sexual orientation, such as disability, which may play a role in the deliberations of this commission.
Last one, CJ. I'm a very, supporter of LGBTQ community. I'm the only president of a political party who marched to Uganda wearing a rainbow flag, because that is a community that I feel very strong. It needs to be supported. You have all what it takes, Prof, except this fundamental issue of experience. And you just joined a church. And then after joining the church, the next thing you're asking is, where are the pastors sitting? Just on arrival. Don't you think that is unheard of?
Commissioner Malema, you point out, of course, my lack of judicial experience, but I am an experienced professor. I am still young, like yourself as a political leader, and I think we're a young country in many ways. We also have a young Minister of Justice and many young people who committed to advancing this country in the different ways that we have to do that. I agree with you. I lack that experience, but I have a different experience, as I've suggested, which is what I need to be considered on the basis of. So it's not something that I can say to you. I can manufacture judicial experience that I don't have. That's something I don't have, but I do have all these other things. And if you think the things that I have can enhance the Constitutional Court, then that's the way in which I put myself forward for the court on the basis of what I do have. Thank you.
I'm very sad that you don't have experience, but also this judge, because I don't buy this thing that only academics can write very well. So for you to be a good writer of judgment, you must be an academic. We've been having very good judges writing very good judgments, and they're not academics. So then through the judgments of this judge, you can see that it's very good. So when you are confronted with that kind of a situation, what do you do?
Thank you, Commissioner.
Why can't you just say, okay, this is my weakness, let me go and work on it? And we ask Chief Justice, I don't know who else, the powers that be, to give you more acting stints. And you just said you are young. There are people who self-disrupt. Don't self-disrupt. You are young. There's nothing against you except this element which is workable. You go and work on it, and then you perfect it, and then come back here. And you're like, your interview is going to last for less than 30 minutes when you come back, because we've asked you everything. But you say, if this is a fair criticism, I accept, let me go and accumulate more judicial experience. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Guys, please don't forget to like the video, leave your comment, share the video. Until next time, subscribe on our channel. Thank you.